Hi my friends, welcome to another video. I hope you guys are all doing well. Um, Today we are kitting down this extremely cute scarecrow with pumpkins sitting on the back of a truck, just living his best life. So adorable. I felt so appropriate for November. Absolutely love, 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 love. You know what? He's got a lot of sticky around him. I brought my washi tape. Hold on, if I can reach. Don't drop it. Let's put some washi tape on him. I literally did not have this planned. I have this out for something else, but let's do autumn. Oh, you guys, I have one with pumpkins. Yes, we're doing that. I don't even have to look any further. How are you guys doing? Oh, you guys, Lord. We made it through the storm. The bomb cyclone, as they called it. Oh, this is weird. It's upside down. Okay. The bomb cyclone. What a nightmare. So if you're part of my Facebook group, you guys got to watch a black video because it was nighttime. You couldn't see outside, but you could hear the trees. Ooh, sorry. You could hear the trees in the background coming and crashing down. We live in a forest, and it was absolutely horrifying. Our wonderful neighbors, not the other people, but the wonderful neighbors that we have on the other side actually texted us. At one point, excuse me, at one point our power had gone out. We were one of the lucky ones because I'll go back to the text in a second. You know how squirrely I am. Apparently at one point there was like 500,000 people without power. It was just crazy. We had just, the winds were horrifying. It sounded like a freight train. I've never heard winds like that before. Look how cute. Oh my gosh. Yes, 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 yes. Do we love? 1 out of 10. What do you give it? It is a 30 by 30, so obviously the details aren't going to be great, but I'm going to give this, honestly, I'm going to give it a 7. I am. Very, very cute. Okay. So trees were crashing down around us. You guys have to understand, we have just massive, massive trees surrounding us. Yes, I believe in the environment, so don't come at me. I had to have some trees cut down that were close to our house that could have fallen on our house, because here in the Pacific Northwest, I don't know why, but we do get windstorms. It's not uncommon, especially this time of year, to get severe windstorms. Now, something that maybe some of you don't know that I found interesting was, so a bomb cyclone, it sounds like, what? Like a bomb cyclone. Basically on the West Coast, we have cyclones instead of hurricanes. So a bomb cyclone is where is number 6? A cyclone is equivalent to a hurricane. So it depends on what ocean, as far as what they name it. So if it's on the West Coast in the Pacific, they call it a cyclone. And if it's on the East Coast, they call it a hurricane. So basically that's what was going on. And it's very confusing because I wish they would just call it all one thing, but apparently there's a reason, and who am I to dispute that reason? You know, I am by no means a scientist or anything like that, so it is what it is. But yeah, it's a equivalent to a hurricane on the East Coast. So we had trees just coming down left and right. And at one point, there were probably, so I was inside the house and I could hear and feel the thud of the trees coming down. Oh, so scary. It's scary because of what's happening, but it's also scary because it's dark outside. You can't see anything out here, you guys. You can't see anything. We live in a very rural area, and there are no city lights. There's no lights. So there's no street lights. There's nothing. So I can't see what's happening. Well, we know the 310 isn't going to go in, right? We know that. 434. So I kept hearing the thuds. I kept feeling the thuds. Stuff was hitting the house. Stuff was blowing down our breezeway. Stuff was blowing off of my front porch. And our neighbors texted us and they're like, because like, I don't know, 4 trees came down all at once. Like you could just hear, it was just, boom, just, oh, if you guys have ever heard that sound, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I am talking about. And they texted me and they're like, hey, are you guys okay over there? And we're like, yes. I'm like, thank you so much. Bless their hearts. They are the nicest neighbors. We have really nice neighbors, and then we have neighbors from hell. So I'm like, yeah, we're okay. You know, how are you guys? What's going on over there? And they're like, well, our house is okay, but we have a ton of trees coming down in the back. And I'm like, ooh, come daylight, you know, I'm like, as long as your house is okay, you know, everything else can be cleaned up and worked through. I mean, so I was sitting down here, you know, and I would go out every once in a while because there are 2 trees that are out here. One's a hemlock and one is a fir tree. And they're close. I think that they could hit the house, but I've asked my arborist, I've had him out several times and I'm like, do you think those would hit my house? And he's pretty sure that they wouldn't. So I'm going to take his word. He knows what he's talking about. Oh, 780. I'm like, what the heck? And I was sitting here and of course the power went out. And, you know, I was waiting for that. I figured my husband had, okay, ring, yeah. My husband had sent me a video because the power had gone out at his work, but they have a huge generator where he works. It's literally the size of like a small house, the generator. And so the generator was running and they had backup power, but all around where he worked, the power was out. And so I'm sitting here in okay, so he had sent me that and then the power goes out. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, okay. He had just charged up all the flashlights. So I turn on the flashlight and I hear the apartment door and I hear my son coming down the stairs, the steps of the apartment. And here he comes. I'm like, yep, here he comes. And he's like, so how's it going? He's so funny. He's like, how's it going over here? I'm like, it's going great. How about you? And he's like, wonderful. And I'm like, good, good, good. So we sat here and we just kind of talked. It was nice. And we kept hearing trees coming down and he's like, shh. He's like, listen to that. And the house was rattling. You could hear like whistling. And yeah, you guys, it was just crazy. It was crazy. The video that I showed on my Facebook group at the very beginning, you can hear a tree going. that tree was the closest to our house. And now I'm worried about it because I'm like, if it cracked that many times, now I'm worried that it could potentially fall at any point during, you know, whatever. But, you know, who knows? I remember the inaugural storm. Does anybody in Washington State, shout out Washington peeps, do you remember the inaugural storm? I think it was when Clinton was elected. Am I right? We lived in Shoreline. I don't remember who the president was, but it was inaugural day storm. And we had we had moved from an apartment to a house, and there was a property management that owned this house. And the day before we moved in there, we had the inaugural storm. Oh, you guys in Washington will remember that storm. And same thing, you know, trees down, power outage, just blah, 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 just destruction everywhere. And, okay, it's 790, or, yeah, 898, looks good. The house that we were renting, that we were moving into the next day, had several, thank goodness, cedar trees in the front yard. Cedar trees. Oh. And we went over there, and of course there were branches all over the ground, but everything was fine. We were just terrified that like the house was probably demolished based on these trees that were out front. But yeah, we have a cedar tree by our driveway, and it lost some pretty big branches, but cedar trees are really, really tough. Like those trees, you don't really need to worry. I've learned a lot about trees living here in this state, as far as like what type of trees are susceptible to rot and what trees, you know, last and do well in certain circumstances. And yeah, so we're fine. Everything's fine. One of my parents, I say parents, not my mom or my dad, when I was a teacher, her kids were my students, and she's a friend of mine, and she posted on Facebook, unfortunately. She said, well, our Christmas tree came early this year. A tree came down through one of their windows in their house. No one was injured, thank God. So yeah, it broke a window. I don't know. She didn't show the outside. I should have asked her, because I'm like, show the outside part of your house too. Let's see what that looks like. But it looked, well, she said everybody was safe. So that's pretty much it as far as the storm goes. The roads, my husband does have a video that is absolutely incredible. Actually, you know what? He has 2 pictures. I think I'm going to post them on my Facebook group, because one of them involves a metro. It could have been a community transit. Because that would have been, it might have been a community transit bus, but where a tree just like came down on top of it. Just, it's a crazy picture. He's driving home, like seeing all the destruction. Oh, this is a shame. Yeah, I need to go through this bag as well and kind of sort these through. So yeah, everything's fine. Our goats are fine. Angel's fine. You know, our road was fine. We were worried I was worried that my husband might not be able to get home. Our private road is, oh, it was so weird. He said, the only people that had power was our neighborhood. Our power was only out for, I might be exaggerating by saying an hour, to be honest. I don't know. I don't even think it was that way. Maybe for an hour. It might have been out a little bit longer than that, but yeah, everything was fine. Here, little TMI, we can't use the bathrooms when our power's out because and I don't know if that's normal. Ooh, these are different colors. I don't know if that's normal, like in a normal house. I haven't thought of that before, but like, yeah, your toilets don't. We have secrets as far as that goes. Not secrets, but my husband's like, oh no, you can use the toilet. I know how to flush a toilet if you absolutely need to use the toilet. But yeah, when you're on a well and a septic, you definitely can't. But is that true for other houses too? I think it is, isn't it? I don't know. I can't remember. It's been so long since we lived. The last house that we lived in was in a development. We weren't on septic or a well, but the house before that, our very first house, we were on a septic and a well. So, I have a, oh, what in the world is happening with 3047 has a problem. 3047 is very confused. It's not a funny story actually at all. It's not funny at all, but talking about being on a well, when you're on a well, there's no like, unless you're on some type of odd well system with like maybe a community, you don't have fluoride in your water. 46. And, so when I had my daughter, I was always told and taught that you need to have fluoride or you're going to get cavities. Y'all do your own research. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to get into a debate about this, okay? But do your own research. So I talked to the pediatrician and I was like, well, we're on a well. We don't have fluoride. So what do I do? And she's like, oh, we have fluoride tablets that your daughter can, chew on. And they're like flavored or whatever. And I'm like, okay. So I would give her these fluoride tablets. And of course she was like, because you don't start doing that until they're, well, and actually I don't remember. I'm sorry. I don't remember her age, but I would give her the tablets and she would get sick. And I was like, at first I didn't catch on to it. I just thought, because I would in the morning have her brush her teeth. I would help her brush her teeth, 3071. And then I would give her, the tablets were in the bathroom. So I would give her a fluoride tablet. And then we would have breakfast. Or was it the other way around? No, we would have breakfast, then she would brush her teeth. Anyway, I was thinking it was something she was eating. I was like, okay, what did she eat this morning for breakfast? Because she would, throw up. And I'm like, what is going on? Well, this happened for like 3 days in a row. And I distinctly remember the one day, 4th day, 5th day, I went to give her the fluoride tablet and I was like, wait a minute. I literally was like, no, we're not doing this. And I called the pediatrician that day and I said, I need to set up an appointment, something's going on. Like, I don't know what's going on because she's not sick. Like, she would like get sick, but then she would be fine the rest of the day. And, so I made an appointment. I probably didn't wait that many days. I can't remember I wouldn't have waited that many days, but you know what I'm saying. So I took her into the pediatrician and I'm explaining this to her and she's like, okay, well, tell me what did she eat? Blah, blah, blah. And, I would tell her, and like every day she would have different things. Like one day I would give her oatmeal, another day she would have pancakes, another day she would have eggs, another day she would have, you know what I'm saying, cereal. So it's like, I wasn't like, I didn't give her the same thing every day. And she's like, And I'm like, you know what I've noticed though? I said, so after she eats, I brush her teeth and give her the fluoride, and she gets sick, and she's like, oh, do not give her the fluoride anymore. Don't give her the fluoride anymore. She's like, it's making her sick. That's what it is. And I'm like, if I don't give her fluoride, then she's going to get cavities. And she's like, what? Whoa. Hold on. 3766. And she's like, maybe you should do some research. She wasn't going to outright tell me, but she's like, she'll be okay. And at the time there was no internet or anything like that. And I went to the library and I did so much research on fluoride, and what I learned absolutely horrified me beyond about fluoride. I could not believe that my whole life I was fed the story of fluoride, is what I call it. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. So my kids do not have cavities, and they've never had fluoride. So take that for whatever it's worth. I'm not making a suggestion on doing anything. I'm just saying fluoride was making her extremely sick, and I'm like, what's going, oh, wait a minute. Ooh, this is in the wrong spot. Okay, 3827, you are out of turn, Mr. 3827. Wow, how the heck? Okay, 3822. Oh, because we're getting full. I'm redoing this whole thing. I'm redoing the whole thing, y'all. Oh, I've got a couple of colors in here. Oh, and that does not match at all. So yeah, crazy, crazy, crazy. And both of our kids were also lactose intolerant. So I remember nobody had like soy milk at the time, except for like Hagen's. Hagen's is a grocery store here in Washington State. I don't know if they're in other places. I think, ooh, I could be wrong. They're owned by somebody else. I think, I'm not sure. But they were the only people that had soy milk at the time in our town. And it was the boxed kind that was like on the shelf. And so, yeah, that's what we were. It's so funny because when you stop drinking like dairy milk and you start drinking soy milk, you actually don't drink milk anymore. You don't have actual glasses of milk anymore. Oh my word. It's like you basically just cook with it or have like smoothies and stuff. Oh, what's going on? I think it matches this one. Somebody was just asking me about this with almond milk. Somebody was just asking me about almond milk. Hi, Desiree, if you're watching. You know, like, do I like almond milk? And because there's like sweetened almond milk and unsweetened milk. I've forgotten that there was sweetened almond milk, but when I started on almond milk, I started on the sweetened kind for sure. Yeah. And then I went to the unsweetened. And they actually have the one that I buy now it has protein, it has like what is it? 8 grams of protein per serving. What is going on? Oh my word. Okay, we have this one. Yeah, those don't match. But it has like 8 grams of protein in it. So that when I make my smoothie in the morning, my protein shake, I have, it's like I get 38 grams of protein in my shake. Oh, those look like the same colors. Ooh, no, nope, they're different. They're slightly different. Okay, 363. So I have another cool painting I'm going to be doing for this month because it is only the 20th. I can't believe Thanksgiving is next week. I think I said that in another video, but I still can't believe it. Oh, this one is so messed up. Oh, and it goes in this one too. The messed up one. I have to go through this and separate them because I can see, oh, those don't even match. Okay. Yeah, need to get our stuff for stuffing day. Stuffing day. Okay, 3864, perfect. 2 more. The 3865. Yeah, I need another baggie of that. Yeah, I'm gonna redo this whole system. It's pretty much gonna be the same, but I'm redoing it. Like, I don't like it. I want it to be a little bit more polished. So it's gonna take me a lifetime to do. Oh shoot, I threw away that sticker. That wasn't very smart. All right, let me show you the painting one last time. There's my 310, just like hanging out there, waiting for a home. Here it is. So cute. So adorable. I love the washi tape, you guys. I love it. So cute. All right, you guys. I will see you in the next video. Loves.